What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Morning Brew Podcast. I'm your host, Kayla, and I interview cool people every other week. This week, I'm joined by my friend Mikky, who is the frontwoman of the local band Mikky and the Doom. They have a lot of super cool stuff happening this year, so I'm super excited to share this interview with you. Before we get started, make sure you're following the Morning Brew Podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and enjoy the interview. Mikky and the Doom is a rock band local to Austin. They played their first South by Southwest earlier this year and have a lot of exciting things on the horizon. Today, I'm joined by lead singer and my friend, Mikky Rib. Welcome to the show.
Hi, so glad to be here.
Let's start by talking about you. We touched on this briefly moments ago, but where are you from?
So I've been bouncing around quite a bit. I grew up early life, early elementary school in Northern Virginia in Fairfax County, and then I moved to Then I moved to Jacksonville, Florida, which is where I lived throughout through high school, and then I went to school back in Virginia at George Mason. And that's where I met my partner in DC. And then we have been bouncing around from city to city every 2 years. Austin's been the longest place we've lived since we've met. So we've been here for 2.5 years, but before before Austin was LA for about 2.5 years, and before that was Seattle for 2 years. And
are you guys bouncing around for work or for funsies?
For fun.
That's such a mood. So I want to go different places.
So we really have put some roots down here, especially with the project. So I don't foresee us leaving anytime soon, but we definitely have that wandering spirit. But yeah, we moved to Seattle for work. We both knew we wanted to be on the West Coast with the goal of moving to LA. But we started in Seattle because he had family there. And then we moved down to LA during the pandemic.
Nice. Okay.
When his job went remote. And and I was working for a talent manager, a high-profile comedy talent manager in Malibu when we lived in LA. And then bopped over to Austin.
Nice. And so tell me a little bit about LA Love Song, because that's one of your songs. And so I was wondering if you were originally from LA, but it sounds like you were there for
about
a short period of time.
2.5 years. I mean, I think as a creative and someone who's always, who's always been working in the creative space and always having big dreams, you look at LA as Mecca. And
totally.
And you go there and you see you meet some of the best and the worst, and it's one of my favorite cities in the world, but it's incredibly inspiring to be around so many dream chasers, and there's such a particularly wonderful energy and culture there, and so many different cultures because it's so big. You can find your niche, but it's really, really it can take your soul. It can almost steal your spirit. It almost killed my spirit. So I've always had this love-hate relationship with LA because I feel you're always almost there. You're all it's that song is very much not love-hate. Garbage USA was more of the negative side of my relationship with LA, and LA Love Song was me kind of healing and coming back.
Gotcha.
So when I went out to LA to write with a really great friend of mine and an incredible writer that I co-wrote this album with named Jacob Button, but I was getting coffee with my friends before the session, and my one friend is in comedy, my one friend is a model actress, and they're just talking about how they're so close. You get a little bit of traction, you get a small win, but
so relatable.
But you need it's all these small wins, but damn, do you bleed for these small wins, and you need the big wins.
At the cusp of something.
You're always at the cusp, and so that's what inspired LA Love Song, was just always being at the cusp.
LA's edging us.
Exactly. Always being at the cusp, and being so inspired, but also being really one in a million, but just like all the others. So
no, that's such a beautiful way of putting it, because everybody seems to romanticize LA. It's where dreams come true and miracles happen, but it's also so cutthroat. LA is so hardcore. And you're also a voice actor, correct?
Yes.
Is that where you were doing
Yeah. So, well, it's funny. So I started, so when we moved from Seattle to LA, I was actually doing stand-up comedy. I was doing musical stand-up comedy with, like, I had, non-musical comedy, but like what was getting traction was my musical comedy.
Okay.
And I had this song called My Cunt Retisively, an ode to reproductive rights in America.
That's incredible.
And it was crushing. I got into a bunch of festivals. Then the pandemic happened. All the festivals got canceled except one. But we moved to LA for me to pursue comedy. And so I started working for this comedy manager. And then, like, after a while, I'm like, I don't know if I really want to be in the stand-up space. I have so much fun, like, with my voice. I've always been curious about voice acting. I love, shows like SpongeBob and South Park. Like, I feel like...
Because they're good.
Like,
They're so good.
The animation, like, you can really be so silly, and I feel like the creativity is limitless. And when I think about, like, hearing and seeing actors having the most fun, like, just goofy silliness, I think of voice acting. Like, I saw this job listing on Indeed. I'm like, I'm gonna try to go work on some cartoons as, like, a coordinator.
Nice.
And so I started at this company called, and this is a remote company, which is funny enough. So, like, this company was based in New York and I'm in LA. And so I'm, like, waking up at like 6 a.m. to start my day.
Oh, gosh.
I started as a coordinator, and then, I quickly, worked my way up the production line, and then started overseeing, like, their voiceover department, because the turnover is really high in animation. Just honestly in any entertainment production in general, because it's very, like, you're really passionate people will do a lot in the name of their passion and in the name of creativity. And so it can be a really hard place to stay for a long period of time. It's not for everyone. But yeah, I was doing a lot of scratch tracks for the animators. And they're like, these are really good. like, this is fantastic. You should just start auditioning. And so I start auditioning under, like, stage names, because, you don't want your client to think, like, oh, if I don't cast her, she's not gonna be, like, as this. Like, I wanted honest feedback, and and so I would throw my name in, and they kept on, like, and the deck of, like, all the normal stuff at the suggestion of my peers, and they're like, this is great, we really like this. And then, like, the clients were also like, we don't hear this character as anyone else but you now, so we really like you good. Just to do it. But I would put my name in, like, these, I'm credited under so many stupid names. I don't know what I was thinking, but, like, for a lot of, like, kid characters, it'd be like Nadine Adult, which is, like, not an adult.
Oh my
like,
gosh.
A lot of, like, really dumb things like that. So, I have a lot of aliases.
That's so funny.
With a bunch of cartoons, but Mikky Rib was one of them. And then I'm like, I like Mikky Rib. Mikky Rib is great. My real name is too hard to say and spell, and I'm just sick of trying to explain it.
Wait, what is it?
Marika.
That's not that bad.
Marijke.
Okay, so I couldn't spell it, but I could say it.
You can say it. If you were to see it, it would give you a bit of a headache. But yeah, so I was like,
everyone loves the McRib.
Yeah, exactly. I'm vegetarian, so I wouldn't know.
Oh my God.
My brother got me a hat that said, like, it was like a belated birthday gift. And my brother and I have, like, this really charming relationship where, like, we're both, like, black cats in the sense, like, we don't necessarily want to talk to each other, but we're very close. So, like, we'll send each other, like, these very random, very thoughtful, very, like, what things, and to show how much we love each other. And he sent me this hat out of nowhere. I think it was, like, a belated birthday gift, like 3 months after my birthday.
Oh my
God. But like, honestly, our relationship is such where, like, that's how, like, it's touching. Like, I'm like, oh, you shouldn't have. But it said Mikky Rib is back, and it tickled me. I'm like, I'm gonna base my whole personality around this now. So.
As you should. And so that kind of ties into the next question. How did you come up with the band name Mikky and the Doom?
So Mikky and the Doom started with a Craigslist ad I put, and it was listed. And, like, so, one of the original collaborators answered, and, we sourced a bunch of players, and one of the, it's this project has evolved significantly since, but it was originally pitched as this movie, like it was a movie title. Like I always wanted something Mikky and the, and so he suggested Doom Generation, which is a movie I haven't seen, but has a really cool aesthetic from the pictures. But I was like, yeah, that's sick, you know, especially with this Garbage USA, like, you know, kind of has this Doom energy. And so it was Doom Generation for a while. I'm like, this is way too long. I'd like to shorten it to Doom. So that's where the name came from. But yeah, as far as like lore goes, like I have a very different, like the origins of this project for me and my soul, you know, like they're not necessarily inspired by a movie, you know? Like it's to me, it's, I don't know, I am my doom. Like I am doomed.
Big word.
like I am my doom.
Please hold while someone almost backs into my car.
The seed was this movie, but like I don't really have any like connection or like to me, chapter 1 was Doom Generation. Chapter 2 is The Doom. And The Doom is anyone I collaborate with.
What?
Including myself.
Petition for your album release to be advertised as Doomsday. And then you could be like, Doomsday is coming.
Great.
And just like a countdown timer on like a bomb or something.
I love that. Great minds. Because that was like, we were trying to like figure out a residency and then we were going to call it Doomsday. But I've been flirting with some different album titles, but Doomsday is great. Right now I was like thinking either Devil Woman or Dame Doom or something like that. And like
she sounds hot.
Yeah.
Intrusive thought.
Yeah. But it's gonna be like I really want it to be cartoon villainy. Like the whole vibe is like
I love that.
Falling off of a pathological people-pleasing pedestal and becoming the villain in someone else's story
while big ass mood.
While finding like your true self by falling to hell.
I enjoy that a lot, actually.
Thank you.
I like that.
So Doomsday like does work. And if I end up naming the album Doomsday, thank you for the
here to reinforce that Doomsday
I love
is
it.
Solid. Congrats on the record deal. Speaking of the album, do you have any teasers that you can drop about it other than what we just said?
Yeah, so right now the visual storytelling and really honestly all the songs, so the work as a whole is all about, you know, different parts of my villain origin story. Like everything is
I love that.
But how whimsical is that in the sense of like I don't feel like a villain. I feel like I'm just making decisions true to myself and writing, you know, stories that and expressing myself in its fullest form and that rubbing people the wrong way. And
that's so beautiful.
And but for the first time in my life really protecting myself. And being okay with I am not everyone's cup of tea. If I have to, if me standing up for myself and having conviction and putting my foot down equals me not being lovable and likable, then that's okay. I'm happy to be your cartoon villain. Because
I love that.
Because in the grand scheme of things, like music is it's art. It's not so serious that you burn a witch over, you know? So,
yeah.
So to me, I'm like, and it is very serious. It's my whole world. But at the same time, I'm like, you know, I feel like a cartoon villain, and I'm okay with that. So like all the imagery, all the songs, like I'll start with the songs. Like each song is a part of my devilish tendencies. Like H2Ho is like my full on like I'm a sexual creature. Like I like to fuck. I love to fuck. I'm gonna wield my divine feminine energy like a mighty sword. Yes. I will level cities and I will bring armies to their knees. And you know, I feel powerful in my sex and I feel powerful in my femininity, and I will swing my sword because I should use every weapon in my goddamn arsenal. So like some songs are about sex and being like, you know what, yeah, this is my, if you want to get biblical with it, like sex is always, especially female sex, or feminine sex, or just honestly anyone's honest expression of sex is oftentimes demonized because it is, you know, it's ultimate power tapping into your divine energy. So some songs are about like sex. Some songs are about like LA Love Song kind of feels like an ego death, you know? Like
I gotcha.
but in a lovable way. It's like you come back to a place that, you know, you might have mixed feelings for and be like, you know what? I don't need a place like LA to have my dreams. So it's kind of leaving the narrative that I've built for myself as an artist my whole life. It's like, you're gonna go to LA. You're gonna go to the big city. You have Melt, which is like literally falling to hell to be awake. And, you know, I think the lyrics really explain it quite on the nose. I want to be all of me. All of me wants to be stopped from falling. I want to feel everything. Everything wants me to stop stalling. I fly so close to the sun. I fly so close to the fire and stare at the sun. I know myself. Can I control myself? Don't want to melt my wings and drown. So it just essentially like the closer I come to my honest, true self, the closer you fly to the sun, and the closer you are to maybe losing everything you built brick by pleasing everyone except yourself. It's being okay with being a demon, being okay with falling to hell. But yeah, everything is all the songs connect to this origin story, and all the imagery is developing into this demon. So everything is like cartoonish. It's whimsical. All the aesthetics, you know, and moving forward with the shows and all the visuals. I'm like, I want to be a cartoon villain. I either want to look like, you know, I'm a playground bully. I'm the evil babysitter. I'm the mean cheerleader.
I love it.
I'm the, you know, I'm the wicked superhero. I'm a witch, you know, all of these demon, devil woman, you know, all of these characters specifically that like are these tropes and these exaggerations of vilified women in
I was
particular.
just gonna say, I'm noticing a pattern that all of those that you named, except for the bully, are like mostly women.
Yeah. So like all of these, you know, I feel like vilifying women is the most cartoonish thing you can do, you know? So like
put that on a shirt.
So it's like, you know, like how can I enjoy my doom? And that's by I am a cartoon villain. So all of the album art, like especially like for small men, like I'm the photographer. They're so talented. You know, I asked them to make my head bigger, like kind of like, you know, in a lot of cartoons.
Oh,
you
yeah,
have,
yeah.
Like, the exaggerated
big head and tiny body.
Exaggerated features, like these, like this. You know, the outfit is inspired by Sid from Toy Story when he's destroying the toys, and the red.
That's so true.
The one of like the supporting images. It's not the album art, but the, you know, just some of the photography around it is like the small man tied to the toy red rocket. You know?
Yeah.
You know, a great example of a cartoon villain who, when you think about it, if your kid was taking ordinary, mundane, conventional commercial dolls and making something extraordinary, intimidating, but creating something so unique and a reflection of himself in like these incredible like spider doll toys, and like I'm like, this kid has an amazing imagination, yet he is, you know, he's a villain when his art just may be misunderstood. So, but I also haven't seen Toy Story in a hot minute. So this is like my recollection of Sid the toy kid.
Sid the toy kid. Oh my gosh. In your opinion, which song has the coolest backstory?
The first thing that came to mind was, and this is more of like a geek music nerd backstory, but Bad Cherry essentially was a response to some sync commentary we got. So we wrote this album in 2 weekends. The first weekend we wrote 5.
Wow, okay.
Like we were just on a creative high. I mean, like we both came with ideas, and then those ideas just came together so quickly. Once you catch a wave, like you just go. And so we were working, like, even though it was a weekend, like we were working all day, like an all night. You know, my manager passed around like these first 5 tracks and they were like, she's super cool, like the music's cool, but she's a little too pop, like she's too, if she can like pull back on like the hypersexual energy, you know, we're always looking for music that's like about rebel girl, but like, you know, we think the sex is just a little too much. And granted, there's only like one song that was like hypersexual. So like, but like just my aesthetic and the way like I like to cut loose and just enjoy myself, you know, I guess not as palatable to you know, sync agents. So anyway, whatever, exactly. But they said we're looking for music that's like Bad Reputation by Joan Jett, Cherry Bomb, you know. So if you could do something like that would be great. So we put them together. I'm like, all right, okay, you know what? I'm gonna write Bad Cherry. Like, and I'm like, I'm gonna master Sing Sexy, which Sing Sexy to me is like a song. Like if you think about Bad Cherry, you know, it's a very sexual song, but it's not too on the nose where like where it can't be placed places. So like this was a writing challenge. I'm like, okay, Bad Cherry. How can I take these 2 songs, Cherry Bomb, which is very sexual. It's a very sexual song, and then Bad Reputation, which is like this, I ain't taking shit. How can I combine those? And we came up with Bad Cherry and mastered Sing Sexy. So how can we be sexual with it still being palatable to a really wide audience? So that was more of like a nerd flex, but if Small Man is like really petty. Just to like I feel like you kind of wake up. Like I feel like that song was me really waking up to how much of a people pleaser I am. And I'm someone who thinks that they're very moves to the beat of their own drum, and then you circle back and you're like, I'm becoming a woman is all about unlearning everything you learned as a kid about what being a woman is, and just fucking curb stomping anyone who doesn't deserve your energy. And that means people who are distant but have a big effect on your life, like say like, you know, political figures, people in your local community. The world was built for and by small men on the backs of everyone else. So small men is essentially my answer and my way to remind myself that small men only take up space when you give them room. So when you get the ick, when someone does something that like rubs you the wrong way, or you know, is taking advantage of you, you put your foot down immediately. Curb that behavior, because so many people are incredibly empathetic and they give everyone the benefit of the doubt. For me, I'm someone who will like really give people the benefit of the doubt, and like I will spin a story in my head to make you fit my narrative.
I'll do the same thing.
And I will overlook things that like I shouldn't overlook. I will excuse stuff. I will excuse the worst because I've put you on like a pedestal because I believe you're a good person, you know?
I do the same thing. I'm like, I pretend I do not see the red flags.
Like you ignore the red flags. So Small Man is like, no. And again, Small Man, I think, was really the catalyst to my villain origin story. So, and accepting that a powerful witch people will want to burn at the stake, and I'm okay with that. So.
Absolutely. Follow-up question to that is, how would you describe a small man?
Oh, a small man.
Because I just know that there are going to be men that are listening to this, like, not all men. And I'm like, I know, but like, specifically small men.
A small man speaks loudly and carries a small stick. So a small man can only make themselves big by making others small. So a great way to know is like, how do they talk about their friends? How do they talk about people in general? How do they talk about...
Please hold while someone almost backs into my car. Again.
A small man probably drives that truck.
Small man probably parks like a douchebag.
A small man is a forever victim. They love to be a martyr.
Yo, that's a great way to phrase that.
It's never them. It's always something. They have more ego than talent, and they talk a really big game and rarely deliver. And then when they don't deliver, they find a scapegoat. They burn a witch. They find someone to make small to make them feel big. When you do something for a small man, they don't think like, wow, how great is she that she would do this? It's how great am I that they would do this for me? You know?
That's a great way to frame it.
A small man only looks out for themselves. Small men, they need a high horse to take the low road. So yeah, small men suck and they're everywhere.
Facts. Fuck them all.
Fuck them all. Fuck the patriarchy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You mentioned before your music is super sex positive, which I personally really enjoy because it makes me feel like I can embrace my like sexuality and like fuck around if I want to or not if I want to, and also like still have like worth and value as a woman. Like it doesn't disappear if I want to like have sex with somebody. Do you feel that that's an important message to reach people?
Yeah. I feel like, you know, I grew up really preppy in the South. I grew up a very, like, I think a wild spirit, but learned very quickly that if I express my full self, that I might not be safe. And so, like, you might not be taken seriously. You might not be, like, you know, there's this big fear around your sexuality that takes a lot of energy. Takes so much energy out of you to suppress something, to suppress a part of your personality in the name of safety, whether that be physical or like, non, like more like abstract, just societal wise. But like, it's like tapping into my sexual energy is like tapping into a battery I didn't know I had. And it's funny, when you tap into that battery, you realize there's a reason why the world didn't want you to, and that's because it's powerful.
It makes me feel confident.
It's confident.
And I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah. It is a confidence killer to not indulge and express yourself freely, and that doesn't mean like you gotta. It's not the spectrum of sexual expression is yours. You don't like not being like even expressing yourself conservatively is still an expression of your sex, but owning that and knowing that you have this whole rainbow to paint with is a very powerful thing. And I think that's why like you have communities, you know, like the gay community and the trans community who, you know, are openly, you know, open and powerful in their expression. There's a reason why you have someone like Trump villainizing, like, you know, vilifying the trans community, because they are in pursuit of their true selves and their true expression. So to me, I think like, you know, cutting sex out of the conversation is boring and stressful and tiresome. And I just, being completely free, expressing that side of my personality while also being very bookish, being very intellectual, being very smart and driven and passionate and successful. It makes me feel like a fucking superhero. And I want everyone to tap into that battery, to let loose, you know? We've worked our whole lives to enjoy them. Enjoy them, you know? Whatever that means. But yeah, I think there's a reason why the patriarchy is so obsessed with owning sexuality, because it is someone's ownership of their full self is the most powerful force on this planet. So yeah, I think that was your question.
Yeah, no, definitely. And you mentioned when you were opening for Kelsey Carter and the Heroines, you mentioned to Justin and I that having people sing your songs back at you was a bucket list item that you had checked off. Do you have any more bucket list scenarios related to your project?
Oh, so many. I will cry when I hear a crowd singing these songs with us louder than I can hear myself. Like, that would be something.
Yes.
Bucket list items I would love, like, hearing someone, like, stumbling upon, like, a cover of one of our songs, like someone doing just, like, an acoustic cover, doing something, like, taking the time to sing a song that, you know, we made that resonates. That would be so cool. I would love to see drunk karaoke of our music.
Oh my God, that would be awesome.
I would love to write an anthem that like has a bunch of sports geezers, like a bunch of British football geezers singing along. Oh, one thing I did want to mention, kind of back to like sex positivity.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in a relationship for 9 years. Like, I've been married for 7, you know?
That's crazy.
Like, but my expression is my own, and I feel really fortunate to have a partner who is not intimidated by a strong, sexual, open, free woman. It's not like your expression has to go away. You don't have to compromise on who you are to be in a healthy, happy relationship. And I think the more that we dive into our individual passions and our own relationships with ourselves, because ultimately that's what your sexuality, your sexual expression is your relationship with yourself, your love story with yourself. How do you date yourself? How do you please yourself? My sexual expression is a love letter to myself. His is to his self. And then when you have a really healthy, loving, passionate sexual relationship with yourself, you can come together with your partner and live in just absolute paradise. It feels like we're still dating. That's why we don't wear wedding rings, like, because we're still dating.
Oh, wait, I love that.
Well, I also, like, I lost both of mine.
That's also my fear too, is I'm worried I'm gonna lose it.
It fell off in the Guadalupe River, but he was so sweet. He took his off and threw it in there too. And then we were like, let's not get anymore. Like, I love feeling like I'm dating you forever.
I
Like,
love that.
There's a wonderful game of chase in our relationship that like
that's incredible.
and it never gets tired because we're both game for anything. And I think that just is really, you know, and it's a real testament to what a good man who is comfortable and is tapped into his divine masculine energy, which isn't to dominate everyone, but is to create and to feed an environment where women and I mean, in this case, particularly women, are free to express their dominant energy in the sense of like, not like, let me pin you down, let me take control, but it's like to be free to express. It's like being around, you know, it's like being around a cat, like, you know, like a dog will want to, like, just because a dog wants to play, you can scare the cat away, where if like you're calm, like you're the divine protector of the energy of this gorgeous zone, this wonderful, like fruitful, passionate love. Anyway, I digress. I wanted to say that because I feel like there's this there's this misconception that being a bad girl, that being like a sexy, naughty woman, it cannot coexist in a happy, you know, in a happy relationship. You do not need to compromise that. And if anything, it's the more I tap into my sexuality and to my self-expression, the more he's empowered to do the same. And that's all I want from this, from the sex positive music, is to embrace all of yourself, because all of yourself is a battery. Your energy is sacred. Your energy is expensive. And if you're spending energy suppressing parts of yourself that are real, then you are draining yourself. So
totally.
anyway.
And we need more men like that, in my opinion, because I'm like, where are they at?
Well, they're in my DMs. I feel like through my sex positivity, I'm taking red pill dudes and I am turning them into feminists, because you'd be shocked at, and I try to respond to every single every single DM I get, I try to get back to, but like it's so fun to see men with very like conventional backgrounds who may have discovered me because they thought I was hot or attractive, but get into the music and become super fans of this really feminist, like very feminist writing. Because even H2Ho, that is about absolutely dominating a space. It's about, it is a feminist, and you are tapping into your divine feminine sexual energy and just letting loose. And also, I mean, that song is not about a man as much as it is me looking at myself and being like, God damn, what a woman.
Yes.
What a woman. That is what that song is about. Is a love letter to myself. But yeah, like, so you have these men who like are very much red pill men coming off that pill, like, and be like, this is badass. You know what? I'm not an alpha. I don't want to be an alpha male. I want to spread the word about small men and do my bidding. And like, yes, you shall. Look at how far you've come.
Good.
But that's also because I think the unsung hero of the feminist movement is the Scarlet Letter, like embracing your sexuality, because it's all it is about, is just owning your sexuality and your full expression. And when you do, no one will want to fuck with you. They'll just want to support you once they realize what good it is, So
yeah, definitely. You ready for some spicy questions?
Yeah.
Okay. So we were already talking about H2Ho, so I'll go with that one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm calling out lyrics.
Yes.
Direct quote. Mikky, what is soldier back from war dick?
Okay, so the full lyric is, I want a big hammer boy, give me Thor enormous. Touch down the whole team if they're first round draft picks. Get away, you're a trip. Kitty drip, make the floor slick. When you get home, give me soldier back from war dick. So early in our relationship, so my partner, he was a professional soccer player for DC United for 4 years, and so he was traveling a lot, and even in his current job, he travels a lot. So every time we go away, I would buy sexy little outfit, lingerie, something spicy.
Nice.
And then it'd always be this kind of celebration when he gets home. And essentially that soldier back from war dick is when you've been away from your partner for a period of time. They come back and it's you throw the hat down and it's you're getting fucked.
You're locked in.
You're locked and loaded,
Incredible.
So soldier back from war dick is when you haven't fucked, when you haven't seen your partner in a while and they just fucking go bananas.
One of your songs is called I Wanna Fuck Your Dad. Mm-hmm. In your opinion, which cartoon or fictional dad can get it?
Ooh, okay.
I feel like there's so many.
There's so many.
There's so many.
Okay, let me think about this. This is a good one. The first one that came to mind, and I don't, this is in no particular order, but the first thing that came to mind was fucking Timmy Turner's dad.
The first one that came to mind for me was Ned Flanders.
Ned Flanders, yeah. I'd like to think I would go towards a more unique one, but the most dad Dinkelberg. The most dad came to my mind. Oh god, okay, I'll stick with that one. Jimmy Neutron's dad can get it too. He seems like a very generous.
Jimmy's mom.
He's a very generous lover.
I'm suddenly blanking on all dads ever, but I had a whole list when I wrote this question, and now I can't remember any of them.
Who else is there? It's all cartoons.
Because it could be fictional dads too, and I'm what movies have I even seen?
Movies I've seen.
Oh, you know what? Pedro Pascal in any movie where he's a dad.
Daddy.
Daddy?
Yeah. He has, that is the most creme de la creme dad energy.
Pedro Pascal as Joel. Pedro Pascal in whatever the Shark Boy and Lava Girl movie was.
Pedro
Oh my God.
Pedro as himself in those like high riding boots. Now that
Bro, the thigh high boots were so good.
see, and that's what I like. That is divine masculine in the sense of like when I think of like divine man, like someone truly in their sexual, like who is so comfortable in their sexuality that like they can kiss a man, they can embrace that. Like, yeah, I'm like I've like it's casual, it's not forced. There's not this hard insecurity around their masculinity. They're so comfortable in their masculinity that they can enjoy the feminine side of themselves, and that is so fucking hot to me.
No, I agree.
So hot.
I agree.
Men who are playfully submissive, like who can wear riding boots, who enjoy, like that's why people go nuts over Harry Styles in a dress, because there's something so unbelievably masculine and so hot and powerful about a man who isn't afraid of the feminine side of themselves.
Yeah, I love when a man can like freely and honestly express the like feminine side of things and explore that without feeling insecure or feeling like, oh, it makes me gay. Like, no, it doesn't. It makes you hot.
Yeah.
Is what it does.
Exactly. It makes you so hot. Like, I love eyeliner on men. I love nail polish.
That's what I said. My parents are going to be listening to this, so I'll call them out right now. If you ask my parents what my type of man is, they'll say someone who wears eyeliner, who has like painted nails, and who probably looks like they do drugs. And I'm like, you know what? Yes. Yeah. It's hot.
Yeah.
Sue me.
Yeah. I am so attracted just to original people, original souls. Like, I'm partnered with a man, but like I find anyone who is just fully in touch with the feminine, the masculine, all like the whole spectrum of themselves. Like, anyone who is truly original, like, I don't care, like, you could be old, like older, younger than me, not like comfortable,
obviously. Yeah.
like but like someone who's just so in touch with themselves and is just so uniquely them, I find to be so intoxicating. Like, it doesn't matter what you look like if you are confident and original and exactly who you are. That is the biggest turn on for me. So Pedro Pascal gives me.
Pedro Pascal is the divine man.
Oh, he is
number one.
He is a
daddy.
Divine daddy.
When
daddy?
Pedro Pascal in the interview's like, I'm into submission. Yes, sir. Yes. I know my place.
Yes. And that's what I mean. Like, I love submissive men. And that's not like, and being submissive is all about letting other energies take up space. It's not about being like I feel like when men hear the word submissive, they think about like this polar extreme, like this caricature of like a little bitch boy. And
right.
But that's not what being a submissive man is about.
Different.
Being a submissive man is about protecting the space for other energies to take up space, you know? And Pedro Pascal is someone who lets women take up space around him and allows other energies to coexist and not just feel the need to trample on wildflowers.
Absolutely.
Like, submissive energy, especially with men, is not trampling a wildflower, you know? Like, just cause. It's not just cause you can, you should. No. Because you can, it is your duty. It is your divine duty to protect the space. Protect the wildflowers, you know? So.
Okay, truth or dare?
Truth.
What is the hoiest thing that you've ever done?
Oh, the hoiest thing I've ever done? Well, it's truth, so I can't lie. So the hoiest thing I do is like...
That's fair. The hoiest thing I've ever done is that, like, the other way. Like...
Hell yeah.
The opposite way of whatever way you were thinking. Okay, so I do this segment where I have artists ask artists, and so the last group on my show was Brian K and the Parkway, and they're a band based in the DC area. And I am trying to figure out how to phrase this, but they were wondering, like, of your songs, what is your like least favorite of your songs that your fans are still like obsessed with?
I Want to Fuck Your Dad. But I don't feel like that is really that song was a cover though. But like, it's a cover that like was chapter 1. Like, I enjoy it. I think it's fun. But like, the song doesn't resonate with me. Like when we first recorded it, I feel like it's evolved, and like there's been ways where like I've made it fit like me emotionally, like, or like, you know, artistically, in the sense of like when I play that song, I like to introduce it like, you gotta fuck the patriarchy, you know? I wanna fuck your dad. Like, so like I find like a fun, clever nuance in that. But when the song was first introduced, it was more of just like kind of shock value and fun. But like, I feel like it's a fun song, it's a funny song. I didn't write it. I enjoy performing it from time to time, but like, I don't know, that was just such a chapter 1 song.
I gotcha. No, that definitely makes sense.
But I still get asked about it. I mean, it's a it's a fun song. It's a fun song. I'm sure it'll be, you know, it will cycle through. I'm sure it'll come from time again. But like, I'm just so excited about the music I'm writing right now that like I don't really have energy or care for the music that I didn't write.
That makes sense, totally. Yeah, and now you can ask a question for my next guest, who I don't know who it is yet, but you can ask anything.
Okay. Do you have any weird pre-show rituals? Like, do you put your left sock on before your right sock? Are you superstitious?
Oh, I'm very superstitious, so that's a good question.
I used to be really superstitious. Like when I was I used to play. I was a college athlete. I used to play Division I tennis, and I'd put my left sock on before my right sock, left shoe, right shoe. Very much like I need to roll out of bed this way. I need to weird like, and if any of my superstitions were broken, it was like a lot of mental energy to like be, I'm gonna be all right. But yeah, do you have any superstitions, like pre-show superstitions or rituals?
That's a good question. Okay, and then lastly, there's so many cool things happening for you this year. Now is your time to shamelessly self-promote. Drop your @ tell us your upcoming shows or releases.
Yes, follow us at Mikky and the Doom. We have our first single dropping this year on June 27th, called Small Men.
It's really good.
Thank you. Then we have 2 other singles coming after that. It'll be H2Ho in August, LA Love Song in September, and then we're dropping the rest of the album in October around Halloween.
Let's go.
And we'll probably throw like a Heaven and Hell party or like some sort of like costume party, because it'll be like late October. Yeah, we're gonna have a merch store up soon. Check us out. Pre-save. It really makes all the difference. You know, for independent, you know, small artists to make waves, we need pre-saves, and it is a free, meaningful way to support your artists. Is just click that button, because it's us against trying to compete with, you know, millions of dollars of advertising space in a monopoly where essentially, you know, major labels own what, like 60% of Spotify.
You said what? It was like pissing in the ocean.
Pissing in the ocean. Mm-hmm. It's a way to help us not just piss in the ocean. It can actually make a difference.
Make waves.
Make waves of piss. You know?
Waves of piss for the local artists.
Yes. Waves of piss. But yeah, we're playing primarily in Texas right now. I'm gonna be live streaming I'm gonna do like a live stream, I think like every Tuesday or something.
Nice, that'll be fun.
Or Thursday. I'll post about it. But yeah, give us a follow, interact with our content, help in algorithm's name we pray. Help us be seen, you know? Just interact with us, say hi.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining me. It was
yes,
so fun.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm, you know, super stoked to be here and that you asked. So.
I'm so excited. Yay. That's all for today's episode, guys. Thank you so much for listening. It would mean the world to me if you would leave a comment and a 5-star rating if you enjoyed this episode. Be sure to check out Mikky and the Doom on all of their socials, and if you live in the Austin area, come check out the release party for Small Man. It's going to be incredible. I will see you there. And if you happen to make it this far into the podcast, I have a special treat for you. Please enjoy the bonus footage, aka clips of me and Mikky reacting to people almost backing into my car 2 freaking times during the recording of this interview. Thank you so much. Until next time.
And so it's, ooh,
Buddy. Bro,
you guys
stop backing up.
You did it. You're good.
That's how close I am to losing my shit.
Oh my God.
What is with people almost slamming into
Jesus
my vehicle?
Christ.
My God.
You'll get your coffee. It's okay.
Yo, y'all be testing my patience.